Okay, good morning students. In today's class, we is to discuss about the drug and alcohol abuse. This concept come under the human health and diseases. Here, what is going to happen when we are going to study about the drugs and alcohol abuse? That time, the survey and statistics shows that most of the young youth, they are abusing the drug and alcohol, and this is the really a cause of concern and could result to many harmful effects. This is the cause. If the people are undergoing the drug and alcohol abuse, they used to face the harmful effects. Okay, and now it is needed to proper education and guidance to them. Proper education and guidance to them who all are already undergoes the drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, now in this particular point, drug and alcohol abuse, we are going to study few common drugs which are used by the people. And here in your book, they have mentioned three common drugs. What are those in the sense? Opioids, cannabinoids, and last one is coca, alkaloid or cocaine. Right? These are the three drugs. Basically, they are what included in your syllabus. Now we are going to study in detail about opioid, cannabinoid, means coca, alkaloid or cocaine. Now, what else we are going to study about these drugs? First, how these drugs are going to affect our body, in the sense through which receptors, and these receptors where they are present are receptors A level. Okay, after that we are going to study about the chemical composition of that particular drug, whether it is opioid, whether it is cannabinoids, whether it is coca, alkaloid or cocaine. After that we are going to study about from where it is going to obtain, get extracted, from where it is going to extracted. And last one is next one is we are going to study about the how it is going to taken. Adandra aa drug na hege tagotaro, how they used to taken that. What there are the different ways to intake these drug. And last one is whether it is what depression or it is to help for the what we are going to call that as energy. These are the two categories. Understood? Now I would like to tell you here, opioids, cannabinoids, coca, alkaloids and cocaine, all these drugs are the drugs which are obtained from the plants and fungi. Now these three drugs we are going to study in detail, from where they are going to be extracted, from how they used to act and what are the side effects, whether they are depressant or providing the energy. Understood? Now first I would like to start with the opioids. Opioids are the drugs which are act through the specific opioid receptors present in a central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Okay, now these drugs are act through the receptors which are present in our body. Here the opioids are act through the specific opioid receptors present in the central nervous system and GI tract. This you have to make clear first. For the opioids, the receptors are present central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Understood? Next, commonly in the sense opioid, heroin is to come. That heroin is a opioid commonly called as smack. This heroin is commonly called as a smack. Heroin and smack both are same. These are opioids. Understood? And this heroin is the chemical composition of heroin is diacetyl morphine. And how this heroin is going to obtain after this heroin is obtained by acetylation of morphine. Now you are going to go for used to search for acetylation. Acetylation andre enu ನೀವು chemistry sir ಕೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ find out ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, next class I used to tell you, or that is the homework for you. Acetylation andre what is meant by acetylation? Here the heroin is obtained from acetylation of acetyl morphine. Acetylation of morphine. Understood? Next one is from where the opioids are going to extract. Opioids are extracted from latex of poppy plant. Latex of poppy plant. That is the scientific name of poppy plant is Papaver somniferum. Papaver somniferum. This Papaver somniferum, see here how I written. First name, that is the specific genus name. It is starts with the capital. I underlined here. The second name is starts with the small letter somniferum, and that is the species name. Understood? And I underlined both separately. In the sense you also have to practice it. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬರೀತಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನಂತರ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಎರಡು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ಲಿ. I think in the sense I hope you all are aware about the rules for the binomial nomenclature which you have studied in a last year ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನೀವು. Rules for the binomial nomenclature. ಎರಡು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ the naming, scientific naming of an organism by the two names. First name is generic name, second name is the species name. First name is starts with a capital letter, small letter, second name is starts with a small letter, and if it is handwritten we used to underline separately. Okay, so this is about what a poppy plant, Papaver somniferus. From the latex of this plant opioids are obtained. Next one, how these opioids are going to, how the users are taken these opioids, how they used to take. ಹೆಂಗೆ ತಗೋತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ the opioids are taken by snorting and injection. Snorting ಅಂತಂದಾಗ external nostril through ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ inhale ಮಾಡೋದು. Snorting and injection with the help of injection. You know about the injection. Next, last one is heroin is act as a depressant. It is depressant and shows down body functions. This is about what? Opioid. Under opioid ಏನು ಕಲ್ತು ನಾವು? In opioid we have studied about opioid, how it is going to act. Opioid is act through the specific receptors which are present in the central nervous system, and afterwards I told you gastrointestinal system. Opioids, heroin, commonly called as smack, it is a opioid, and the chemical nature or a chemically it is diacetyl morphine, and it is obtained by acetylation of a morphine. These opioids are extracted from latex of the poppy plant, that is the Papaver somniferum, and it is taken by snorting and injection. Last, heroin is act as a depressant. Understood? Write a note on opioids ಅಂತಂದಾಗ these points you have to include. Through which receptor or where the receptors are present, common name of that opioid, then from where it is going to extract, last one how it is to take, in the sense intake, and another one is whether it is depressant or stimulant. These things you are going to remember in opioid. In the same way you used to study about the cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are kuda how where the receptors are present in our body for the cannabinoids, then from which plants the cannabinoids are going to extract. Okay, we'll move. Specific cannabinoids receptors present in a brain. In brain, the receptors for the cannabinoids are present in a brain. Receptors for the cannabinoids are present in a brain. Cannabinoids obtained from where these are going to obtain? Cannabinoids are obtained from inflorescence of cannabis sativa. Yes, this is the scientific name of plant. Cannabis sativa plant, the inflorescence is. What is meant by inflorescence? Inflorescence is nothing but the arrangement of a flower in a floral axis, that is called as inflorescence. We have studied, you all know about this, you were studied in a last year morphology of flowering plant and inflorescence definition. Now that is what cannabinoids are obtained from, they are extracted from the inflorescence of the cannabis sativa plant. Next one is the different parts of this plant, cannabis sativa, in the sense flower top, leaves and resin. These are the different parts of the particular cannabis sativa plant are used for the production of different cannabinoids. What are those? Here say important. What is that? Here I written. The different cannabinoids. What are those? One is hashish, marijuana, charas, ganja, G-A-N-J-A, ganja. These are the different kinds of cannabinoids which are obtained or extracted by flower top, leaves or resins of a cannabis sativa plant. Understood? ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ CET ಅಥವಾ NET ನಾಗ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Which one of the following is not cannabinoid? Is not cannabinoid ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಮೂರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೋ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಹೆರೋಯಿನ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡ್ರಗ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. That time you are going to judge whether the following three are which are the following three are cannabinoids. Okay, ನಾವು NET ಅಥವಾ CET ಮಾಡೋ ಮುಂದೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ, hashish, marijuana, charas and ganja, these all are cannabinoids. Okay, cannabinoids. Now how they are used to take? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, opioids are taken by the snorting and injection. Likewise, the cannabinoids are taken by inhalation and oral injection. Okay, these are taken by inhalation and inhalation and oral injection. Cannabinoids are taken by inhalation and oral injection. And last, these cannabinoids are act or effect on cardiovascular system. CARDIOVASCULAR, cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Heart and vessels ಎಲ್ಲ cardiovascular system ಬರ್ತೋ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ cannabinoids act ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Understood? This is act as a depressant. Cannabinoids are effect on a cardiovascular system. Opioids are obtained from the the receptors for the opioids in a central nervous system and GI tract. Cannabinoids receptors in the brain. Next one, it is obtained from the plant poppy virus somniferum. It is obtained from the cannabis sativa. Understood? Next, here we have studied only one example, heroin or a smack. Here different parts are used for the extract remains production of a hashish, marijuana, charas and ganja. Understood? This is about what cannabinoids. Now last drug we used to study in this particular chapter, that is what tandaga coca alkaloid or cocaine. Coca alkaloid or cocaine. Likewise, the opioids and cannabinoids, coca alkaloid or cocaine, are here. From where they are going to obtain or extraction. Before that, I will tell you, these coca alkaloid or cocaine interferes with the neurotransmitter dopamine. In a sense, the receptor for the opioids and cannabinoids ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ these means what coca alkaloids or cocaines are interferes with the neurotransmitters. You all are studied about the neurons last year. Neurons are going to transmit the signals. Okay, with the help of what? Neurotransmitter dopamine. ಆ dopamine ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ತಡೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ disturbance ಯಾವ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು? coca alkaloids or cocaine. In the sense, coca alkaloids or cocaine interferes with the neurotransmitter dopamine. Next one is these means coca alkaloid or cocaine is obtained from Erythroxylum coca. Erythroxylum coca is the name of plant from which the cocaine is going to obtain. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಐತಿ, ಎದ್ರೋಗ ಅಪಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಹೆಸರು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಪಿವೇರಾ ಸೊಮ್ನಿಫೆರಮ್. Cannabinoids like ಯಾವುದು? Cannabis sativa. These all are very important for 1 mark question. These to ask you from which plants cannabinoids are obtained. Name the plant from which opioids are obtained. Name the plant from which cocaine is obtained. Understood? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ, these all are very important for 1 mark question and 3 mark question. If he is to ask you, write a note on opioid, write a note on cannabinoids, write a note on cocaine. And this particular what concept is very important. what in the view of CET and NEET questions also. Understood? Now here the cocaine is obtained from the erythroxylum coca. And next, it acts on central nervous system and producing. Here the cocaine is act on central nervous system and produce euphoria. euphoria, euphoria, and increase the energy. Euphoria in the sense what? You used to feel happy and you used to feel some what energetic. That is what euphoria, and it increases our energy. And next I written here hallucination. Hallucination. Sorry, hallucination. 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 Hallucination in the sense when the person undergoing or the person used to take the cocaine, that time he used to think behind its limits. ಅದಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅವನು ಮಾಡಾಕಿರ್ತಾನಪ್ಪ ಅದನ್ನು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಾಕಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಫ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಲಿಮಿಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ cocaine I used to think behind my limit, in the sense I used to assuming myself as a what American president or myself as a what Prime Minister of India, like this that fellow used to think. That is such imaginations or such what we are going to call that one as a feelings. That is we are going to call as a hallucination. Such imaginations or such type of what we are going to call as a behavior we are going to call as a hallucination. And there are different types of hallucinogenic properties, in the sense there are the different types of cocaines which are having or there are the different types of plants which are having hallucinogenic properties. Hallucinogenic properties, what are those? Atropa belladonna and datura. Atropa belladonna and datura. From these plants also the cocaines are going to obtain. Cocaine is obtained from erythroxylum coca. And here we are discussed about the hallucination. Hallucination in the sense how the imaginations, big imagination is to imagine big things which are not come true, at all. But he is going to imagine those things when he is going to take the cocaine or he is going to take a cocaine. Understood? Now here I mentioned two plant names. What are those? Atropa belladonna and datura. These plants are also shows the hallucinogenic properties. If you are going to consume the what we are going to call it in the parts of these plants, that time that product is to shows the hallucinogenic properties. Okay, this is about what coca, alkaloid or a cocaine. In the sense, in this particular chapter, what else we have studied? We have studied about the opioids, the receptors for the opioids, and the common heroin, we are commonly called as a snack. That is opioid. It is contained means chemical nature of opioid is diacetyl morphine, which is obtained from the acetylation of morphine. It is extracted from the latex of a poppy plant, in the sense Poppyvera somniferum. Next, it is taken by snorting and injection. Next, it is act as a depressant. It is act as a depressant agent. Adu one mass question keladu. Cannabinoids ಅಂತಂದಾಗ for the cannabinoids receptors are present in a brain. Cannabinoids are obtained from the cannabis sativa plant. The different parts, in the sense flower, top, leaves and resins are used for making a different kinds of or production of different kinds of cannabinoids. Those are hashish, marijuana, charas, ganja. These are the examples for the cannabinoids. And these are also these cannabinoids are taken by the inhalation and oral injection, and these cannabinoids affect on cardiovascular system. And next, cocaine, it interferes with the neurotransmitter called as the dopamine. It is obtained from the erythroxylum coca. Then it acts on a central nervous system to produce what? Euphoria and increase the energy. And here we are studying about the hallucination. Hallucination in the sense imagination behind the limits. That's in the sense here I mentioned the two plant name. One is Atropa belladina and Datura. These both the plants are used to show the hallucinogenic properties. Okay, this is about what the common drugs which are used by drug abusers. Okay. Okay, we have studied about the common drugs which are used. First one we have studied the opioid. Second one is cannabinoids, and last one is cocaine. Next point we are going to study. There are the drugs like the opioids, cannabinoids, and cocaine named as a barbiturates. Then the next one is amphetamine, 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 and benzodiazepines. In the sense, barbiturates, amphetamine. Next one is benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines. These are the drugs which are like a opioids, cannabinoids, and what we used to call them as a last one is cocaine. These drugs are used as a medicine. These three drugs are used as a medicine for them who all are under the depression and insomnia. Depression and insomnia ಅಂದಾಗ different drugs use ಮಾಡಿರುವ who all are under the depression or a insomnia. For them to overcome from the depression and insomnia, these three drugs are used as a medicine. And also we have discussed morphine in opioid. That morphine also used for the sedative and painkiller, and it is very helpful. Morphine is very helpful for the people who are undergoing the surgery. So in such a way that these drugs are used as a medicine. When these drugs are used behind the limit or for the longer period, that time we are going to call them as the drugs are abused. Understood? Or else if you are going to take these drugs with the help of a doctor prescription with what we are going to call them as by the doctor's prescription, that time these all are act as a medicine. But when we are going to use them beyond the limit, in the sense illegally used to use more quantity for the longer period, that time we are going to call them it as a abuse of drug. Understood? It is used as a means we are going to call it as a abuse of drug. Next one we used to study smoking. It is also a one of the kind of drug inhalation. Understood? Here in smoking we are going to study the tobacco. In India, you all know the farmers are used to grow the tobacco. In tobacco, there is a large number of chemicals including nicotine. There are a large number of chemicals including nicotine. And this tobacco, it is used to inhale by smoking or chew or a snuff. Understood? Next, what is going to happen when we used to intake the tobacco or the intake of nicotine? That nicotine is act on a adrenal gland. Nicotine is act on a adrenal gland. We studied about the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is an endocrine gland which is going to secrete the different kinds of hormones. And the adrenal gland has two parts. One is the adrenal cortex, another one is adrenal medulla. Now here, the nicotine is act on a adrenal gland in the sense it is act on a medulla of the adrenal gland. And what are the hormones are secreted by the medulla of the adrenal gland? Last day we have studied epinephrine and norepinephrine, or adrenaline or non-adrenaline. These two hormones are secreted normally by the adrenal gland, medulla of the adrenal gland. But when the people used to intake the nicotine, that time nicotine is act on an adrenal gland part, which part? Medulla, and from there adrenaline and noradrenaline is to secrete. Alline adrenaline and noradrenaline secrete start agtೈತಿ, and these two hormones are responsible for increasing the blood pressure and also increasing the heart rate. I written here, these two hormones are means helpful or stimulate the increasing in a blood pressure and heart rate. Understood? Now this leads to sometimes heart attack and all. Next one is, this nicotine is used to what? This nicotine or a smoking is going to smoking. It is to increase the carbon monoxide in the blood. As shown here, aroma, carbon monoxide in a blood, and decreases heme-bound oxygen in the blood. So it used to go for the low BP, or what we used to call that as a decreases about the O2 content in our from our body. So these are the things which leads means smoking leads. What it is to do? Smoking in the sense, tobacco. Tobacco consists of large number of chemicals, including nicotine. This nicotine present in a tobacco, and this tobacco is intaken by the users with a different ways. One is by smoking. It is called a smoke or chew or a snuff. Once it is entered into our body, the nicotine is act on a adrenal gland, and it stimulates the adrenal gland to secrete adrenaline and non-adrenaline, and these two hormones are increases the blood pressure and heart rate. And nicotine is cause the carbon monoxide, increase of carbon monoxide in a blood, and decreases the heme-bound oxygen. Okay, and whenever you go for the cigarette packets and different kinds of tobacco product, that type they should be clearly mentioned. What is that? Tobacco is injurious to the health, or smoking is injurious to the health. ಬರೆದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಂದಿ ಸ್ಮೋಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ತಂಬಾಕು ತಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದಾಗ ಬಂದ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಫೇಸ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ high blood pressure and heart rate, and increase in a carbon monoxide in their blood, and decrease the heme-bound oxygen, etc. So these all are what about the drugs and alcohol abuse. In drugs and alcohol abuse, we have studied the different kinds of drugs. What are those? Opioids, cannabinoids. And last one is cocaine. And after that, we have studied the similar kinds of drugs which are used as a medicine. Morphine also used as a medicine. Sometimes cannabinoids are also used as a medicine. You go through the book, come to know. And next one is smoking. It is also a kind of drug intake. And here I mentioned that tobacco. The tobacco is used by the people from last 400 years. Understood? And tobacco is intaken by different ways, by smoking, chewing, or a snuff. And next one is this tobacco consists of large number of chemicals, including nicotine. Nicotine acts on an adrenal gland, and after that acting on an adrenal gland starts secreting the adrenaline and noradrenaline, and it increases the blood pressure and heart rate. And also the smoking is used to increase carbon monoxide in our blood and decrease the heme-bound oxygen. Okay, this is about what drugs and alcohol abuse. In next class, we used to study adolescence and drug or alcohol abuse. Okay, I will stop here. Thank you.